I don't want to, said Sara, by Hans Peterson, illustrated by Ulf Lofgren. The sun was shining, the sky was blue, the grass was green, the whole garden was green, and there was Sara, walking along in her blue dress with green stripes. Suddenly, as Sara walked along, she found a rope. It was under some bushes. It was a long, thick rope. Sara took hold of it. It moved and began to swing. "Let go of that rope!" cried Mother. "I don't want to," said Sara, and she flew away. The rope travelled across the sea. The sky was blue. The sea was blue. Sara was blue too because she was so cold. She hung on to the rope and went swinging over the water. The rope was tied to a balloon. In the balloon was an old man. Sara kept on swinging. Everything was as blue as it could be. At last they reached land, and now everything was green. The trees were green, and the ground was green, and some of the houses too. "Hold on!" cried the old man in the balloon. "I don't want to," said Sara, and let go. She fell to the ground, of course. 14 men were busy making the world's biggest pat of butter. It was yellow and as tall as a house. Sara landed right in the middle of it. It turned her quite yellow. She was yellow from head to foot. The 14 men turned yellow too. The only thing that was not yellow was Sara's dress. It was still blue with green stripes. "Just you wait," shouted the 14 yellow men. "I don't want to," said Sara, and she ran away. Two sweeps in top hats were sweeping a tall chimney. The chimney was full of soot. The sweeps were black. The sun shone on yellow Sara in her blue dress with green stripes. "Get away from here," shouted one of the chimney sweeps. "I don't want to," said Sara, and ran straight into the chimney. It was quite black inside, so black that the two chimney sweeps disappeared. Sara disappeared too. All you could see was her blue dress with the green stripes. The two sweeps took hold of Sara and threw her out of the chimney. She landed in some green bushes. "You just try coming back here," they cried. "I don't want to," said Sara, and she ran away. She stopped on a path. There were beautiful coloured flowers everywhere, and the birds and the butterflies were orange and green and blue. Only Sara was black. She was hungry too, very hungry. She found a penny in her pocket. She went to the baker. He lived in a very pretty house. It was white, and there was grass growing on the roof. The baker was standing in the doorway holding a sack of flour. When he saw Sara, he held up his hand. "Stay where you are," he said. "I don't want to," said Sara. "I want to buy a cake." She ran into the bakery so suddenly that the baker fell over and dropped his sack of flour. The flour flew all over the place. Cakes and biscuits shot up in the air. Everything turned white. You couldn't see a thing. The baker disappeared. The cakes and biscuits disappeared. Sara too disappeared. The only thing that did not disappear was Sara's blue dress with green stripes. The baker took hold of Sara and threw her out of the window in a cloud of white flour. "You behave yourself next time," he called. "I don't want to," said Sara as she flew through the air. When she landed on the ground she was yellow and black and white. She looked like nothing on earth. but she walked on until she came to the harbour. Sarah stood near the water. "Move away or you'll fall in," cried 3 sailors. "I don't want to," said Sarah, her nose in the air. Just then she fell straight in and sank to the bottom. It was all quite blue down at the bottom of the sea. Blue water, blue fishes. Sarah was blue too, only the stripes on her dress were still green. Sarah walked along on the bottom of the sea. At last she reached the other side. That was where she lived. There was her house and her garden. She was home again. She was quite clean by now. The butter had gone, the flour had gone, and the soot had been washed away. Her dress was still blue with green stripes. It was just a little wet. Sarah was in the garden. It was nice and green. The sun was shining and the sky was blue. "Don't ever fly away like that again," said Mother. "I don't want to," said Sarah. All the same, she went and looked under the bushes just to see if there was another rope there.